The only way you can know what you got, the only way you can step into the moment and be fully prepared for the moment, the only way you can deal with the thing and know that you got what it takes to sustain it is to build it from the ground up. Then you really know what you got.
Life is serious. I didn't take life seriously for a very long time. I didn't know. And I didn't know that I didn't know, and I thought I knew. Life is serious, but because I did not believe it myself. For 14 years, I sat on the sideline, living a life that wasn't me, working on jobs that was not me, and got fired again and again and again. In life, when you don't have enough courage and insight to know that where you are is not your rightful place, life will move on you. Life moved on me and said, come up higher, I got something else for you. And I'm saying to you, if you've had life snatch the rug out from under you, if you've lost your job, your business, your relationship, it's not over until you win.
When what you believe infiltrates behavior, the process gives you foundation. When what you believe infiltrates behavior, the process gives you foundation.
When adversity hits, what are you going to do? Are you going to fold? Are you going to bend? Are you going to cry? Are you going to fall apart? What are you going to do when adversity hit? What are you going to do when you lose your job? Are you going to sit there and cry? Or are you going to get up and stop playing and get busy? We, again, like I said before, have the power to change things. Listen, in this world, adversity is going to happen. One way or the other. It's going to happen. So you need to stop playing and get busy. Look adversity dead in the face and say, let's go. Let's go. No time for us no more to be playing games. No time for us no more to be scared or go ahead in the corner. We have to look adversity in the eye and keep moving. Get busy.
What is that truth we must know? That you're greater than anything that life throws at you. Don't come up in here, you playing. I don't play. I'm serious. Only want serious people, hungry people, so you can live a life that will outlive you, so you can leave a legacy rather than liabilities.
You know what you should do? Every time you get a chance to experience first class, you should do it because it plants a seed. It's like the next time you buy an airplane ticket, just ask for an upgrade. Pay a little extra money, fly first class. What it does is it conditions your mind. Once you sit in first class one time, the next time you get on a plane, it's very difficult to walk past them seats. And then your mind starts thinking of ways to get back to first class. And guess what? That's what you start attracting to your life. And you start behaving and producing stuff to get you back into first class.
So, I mean, just go look around. I mean, being in the military does not make you a disciplined person. Being from a disciplined family does not make you a disciplined person. Being in a disciplined group does not make you a disciplined person. What makes you a disciplined person is choosing to be disciplined, right? There's things that you know you're supposed to do as a human being. Things that you know are going to improve your life. Do those things. There's things that you know are going to make you a worse person and make your life worse. Don't do those things. Don't do the things that are making you weaker. Start doing the things that are going to make you stronger and smarter and faster and healthier and going to make you a better human being. You want to be more disciplined? Get after it. And no, it is not easy. But you're not going to get it from anyone else but you. And it's worth it. And it is the thing that is going to bring you freedom.
You were chosen for something. Get with that. Know that. Be with that. Live your life from that place. And don't judge what the possibilities are for your life based upon where you are right now. Where you are right now is your rightful place. Your rightful place is where your thoughts have brought you. Your true place is where your thoughts can take you. You created an opening. You about to take off now. You about to go to another level now. This is your time. You got to say that to yourself. This is my time. Even if you don't have no money to rub together. Why? Les, you got to be crazy. Absolutely. Yes. You got to be out of your mind to say that. You've lost your business. You've gone through foreclosure. You lost your job. Your marriage is on the rocks. The kids are going crazy. Yeah. You got to be out of your mind. In order for you to reinvent yourself, you got to let another mind be in you.
It is the struggle. It is the wrestling. It is the pulling. It is the trial. It is the temptation. It is the stumbling and falling and getting back up again. It is the aggravation and the intimidation that gives you foundation. It's not just the mechanical influence of robotically doing. It is just that as you go to do it, you learn things about yourself that you didn't know. You learn how to go through aggravation and heartache. You learn how to deal with obstacles and situations. And while you're trying to do, all of a sudden you're going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It is the process that gives you foundation. It is the struggle. The discipline of doing says there is no shortcut to excellence. You just can't fast track it.
You don't get discipline from your parents. You don't get discipline from your parents, from your grandparents, from your older brothers and sisters. You don't get discipline from an external source. You have to get it from you. That's what self-discipline is. You get it from yourself. You get it from you. There's people from every possible background, from no parents to crazy parents to, drug addicted parents to super squared away parents, and everywhere in between on that spectrum that are completely disciplined people. More disciplined than anyone I know.
And just got to stop playing around and get serious. Most people, like me, for a period of my life, was seriously not serious. People who are serious are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. They're serious. When something happens to us, rather than surrender, rather than give in to the naysayers, rather than say, I can't do it, I don't have the money, I don't have the contacts, I don't know the right people, or I tried, it did not work. Keep moving. See, nothing works unless you work. And have the mindset, this is my time. That energy, listen to me, that energy, this is my time. This is the moment for my breakthrough. Have no sign and nothing to point to justify this state of mind. There's a power that we have in us that most of us never tap into. People get more excited about a sporting event than the life that's in them to do something magnificent, to manifest their greatness.
It's time to get real. It's time to get raw. It's time to look ourselves in the mirror and come to the resolve that this version of ourself is not going to carry us in the stretch. I've been this version of myself long enough that if I don't change, if I don't do something about this.
You a man, you don't have to show people you have what you really have. You have it. But when you're a boy and you seek attention, you need people to see what you have.
Pursue your gift and not your passion. And gifts don't have to be running, jumping, singing, dancing. Teaching is a gift.
Then I'm going to find myself bankrupt.
For me to understand, for me to be better, for me to be stronger, I must learn to suffer a little bit. I must learn to struggle a little bit. I cannot reap the rewards of success without understanding about struggles.
Success is not automatic. You don't get things just because you want them.
If you really have it, shouldn't it be enough that you have it? So what I'm hoping for this group, I'm asking that a group of males would make sure they transition from malehood to boyhood to adolescence to manhood and then the man's man. Malcolm was a man's man. Malcolm came out from Detroit Red to Malcolm X. When Malcolm came out, listen to me very closely, they were able to convince women to join. They couldn't get the pimps and the hustlers to do it. When Malcolm came out, Malcolm was Chicago, Detroit, New York. Malcolm was all over the world recruiting men. And I'm talking about, if y'all saw, again.
You achieve your goals only when you are disciplined enough to keep showing up when you don't feel like it.
You're going to put the blood, you're going to put the sweat, you're going to put the tears in, you're going to lose sleep, you're going to go days without eating, you're going to do whatever it takes to make the sacrifices necessary to manifest. There are too many people in your life who have left you. There are too many people in your life who have counted you out. There are too many people in your life who have whispered in your ear and said you'll be worse off without them. Prove them wrong.
Son, you're just a dreamer. That thing you're dreaming is never gonna happen. I would ask myself every single day, are you just a dreamer? Are you a person who can grind until they execute? Somebody who can make that dream a reality. Is that true?
Some of it is fiction, but some of it is true. I love it, I love it, I love it. When the Italian mob came up with the guns, Malcolm said, you got people with guns. I got men willing to die for me. What? Y'all got guns. My guys, they don't just got guns. They willing to lose their life for me. What? When the nation was up, wasn't nobody playing. When a man was on the block, they wasn't playing with Malcolm X. They wasn't playing with the Nation of Islam. They playing with us. They don't take us serious. So they don't mind driving and coming in and blowing up our neighborhood because they like, the men ain't gonna be there anyway. Go do your homework and see who was shot and killed. The men ain't gonna be there anyway. They gonna be somewhere either sleeping around, they gonna be going somewhere trying to make some money. They not gonna be at the king. You can't come to a kingdom that's protected. You can't run up on a kingdom that's protected, but you can run up on a kingdom full of boys. You can run up on a kingdom full of boys.
The best things won't come out, the best of you won't show up. You feel that all you know is sorrow. Why do you allow misery to handcuff you? To chain you down, resurrect yourself from the pit of darkness, music, because misery doesn't have the right to control your life when the rest of the world says no to you. You say yes to yourself, you say yes. I believe you say yes, I can do it, you say yes. Nothing can stop me, there's no time to give up. This is the opportunity to be greater than your fears. Be stronger than your doubts, make your mind matter. Misery, it will continue to do all that is necessary. To succeed, misery is on a mission to take everything away from you.
Nursing is a gift. Networking is a gift. Child care is a gift. Those are gifts, man. People, you can have a great life at that. But don't come out here to sing and dance if that ain't what you do. They're going to eat you alive in LA. They're going to swallow you up, man. LA's a hard place to go to be successful. Very, very difficult, man. There's a lot of broken dreams out there. So that's my advice to you. It's your dream and your drive that makes you successful. It has nothing to do with education. So if you're sitting out there and you're not an educated person, don't let that stop you. Don't even let that be the reason. Make that be the reason why you become successful. That's what I did. I didn't have an education, so I said, but because you don't have an education, don't mean you can't be successful. You got vision, you got God. I don't know if you've read the Bible, but education ain't in there. Harvard and USC, Emory, it's not even in the Bible. It ain't in there. dreams and visions. Faith, dreams, and vision. You be on Broadway with faith, dreams, and vision. And your gift. That's all you need to succeed. Now, if you want to be a dentist or a doctor or a lawyer, well, come on now, you got to go to school, right? I'm not saying, because school is important. But if you don't have one of them skill sets, man, what you gonna do? Get to hustling.
Your mind is very powerful. Bring in the goodness, moving with a purpose. Conditioning your mind is what this is about today, is that day and when and if tomorrow comes for you. Be even more powerful, be stronger than you've ever been. Rectifying yourself, believe in yourself, keep that faith in yourself. Don't let the outside interference stop your growth. Don't let those that doubted you and said that you did not have it hold you back. Don't let the losses keep you down. Because if you're down, how would you understand what it means to get up? What is good about being miserable? What is misery doing for you? What has misery done for you lately? Has it given you everything that you needed, made you a better person?
You'll never go back to the old ways. Join a new crowd. Join a new group. This is the place to do. Take action. I recommended the last time I was here, the little book, Richest Man in Babylon, and I said I've lectured now to over 3 million people in the last 33 years, and I've recommended this little book to almost all of them, I think. Guess how many have actually gone and got this little book? Answer, very few. My best guess is 10%. Such an easy thing to do. In that last seminar, right, I suggested this little book, number one, is easy to find. Number two, it's easy to buy. The most you can pay for it, $6, $7, $8. You can borrow that from your kids. And number three, it's easy to read. It's in story form. That's why I use it for teenagers, teaching them how to be rich by 40, 35 if you're extra bright. Much sooner if you find a unique opportunity.
Your mind, your abilities, your faith within yourself, it's all that you need. The steps that you take in your life, it's a process within itself. It won't be easy, but you don't deserve easy. Easy is not something that you should be looking for. Embrace all of the challenges that are necessary, but you continue to fight forward, you continue to believe in yourself. How do we allow ourselves elevate the game to go higher than we've ever gone before? How do we escape from the misery, the joy? Is what we seek the joy of living.
But if it's easy to find and easy to buy, and if it's easy to read, why wouldn't everybody go get it? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's how profound it is. Some do and some don't. Now here's the numbers. About 10% do. 90% don't or won't. We don't know the mystery of that. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The numbers don't change. Only the faces change. You're looking at one of the faces. I used to belong to the 90%. Who couldn't be bothered even if it was easy. Guess how many people have a library card? Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life in any value amount you want. By the way, how much is a library card in Texas?
The joy of pursuing, the joy of believing. Are you ready to succeed? Are you prepared to move forward? Make it count, be productive, be powerful, and from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business. They say a mind of mind is a terrible thing to. Waste mind is so powerful. It's so unique it can do many things, and you are the one that is responsible for the thoughts that enter your mind. How did we as individuals, as people, get away from misery? How do we allow ourselves to elevate the game to go higher?
When everybody's out there making mistakes, when everybody's out there not being responsible, are you going to be the one to be responsible? If you are a father, if you are a mother, it is your responsibility to be the best parent that you can be. If you are in charge of a company, or you're a manager, or anything that requires your responsibility to step up, then it is up to you to lead by example. You have to take the lead, not always following, but leading the pack, leading in the right direction, doing the things that will take you to the levels that you need to go and beyond them. But you can't hold back anymore. And you can't say, I'm sorry all the time, because your sorry just ain't gonna cut it. Step up to the plate and be responsible. Step up to the plate and do what's necessary. Step up to the plate and do all the things that is required, and then we can talk. Then we can talk about the next thing in your life. Then you can have that intimate conversation with yourself, within yourself, and realize that this is it. Now I got more work to do. There comes a time in your life where you have to step up to the plate. There comes a time in your life where you have to understand the significance of what it means to be responsible. To have the responsibility to understand that you have to take full control of your actions. Now, many people tend to wait and not get themselves in a position to where they need to be and to be accountable for what they do in their lives. Being responsible, taking full action of everything you do in your life depends on you. Now, many people are waiting for something. They're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for someone to give them the okay to move on. But this is not something that you need to be thinking about. You have got to realize that it is up to you to make moves, to move forward, to get the job done. Being responsible, taking full responsibility to everything that you do, from the way you speak, the way you walk, maybe even the way you dress. Because your presentation and everything you do depends on you. I'm here to let you know right now, ladies and gentlemen, that you got to be the one to take action. You got to be the one to realize that it is up to you to get things done and get it done the right way. Sometimes people just don't want to be responsible. They want to make excuses. They want to hold back. They're waiting for something. As I said before, waiting is not going to get the job done. Ask yourself, when you get up in the morning, what is your daily routine? What is your routine every single day of your life? What did you miss out on? What did you forget?
Let's be honest. How many of you sometimes you build with one hand, but sometimes you tear down with that same hand? Be honest, where are you? Come on, be honest. Yep, thank you, be honest. Yep. That's not the goal is not to self-sabotage. The goal is not to hurt yourself. The goal is not to the goal is not to get here and then hurt yourself and take, does that make sense? Good, all right, empathy. Now I want to add to this one though. Here's what you have to teach those who are working with you. All right, the last one, which is AQ, adversity quotient. The ability of an individual to think through, manage, and endure challenges in life. Listen to me, I'm telling you, so many people have been taken out the game by COVID. It was Winston Churchill who said, never let a good crisis go to waste. So we've got to teach them that in the crisis is the best time. Why? Because most people are going to fall off. This is the best time. It's the best time to make money. This is the best time to get with a team. This is the best time to be with a company. This is the best time to be with a group, not to be by yourself. This is the best time. If there was ever a time you needed community, if there was ever a time you needed other people, if there was ever a time you needed resources, if there was ever a time you needed to be with a machine, that this is the time. So they need to understand that, yep, a lot of us do IQ, that's the company, that's the product. EQ, we teach people, how to be persuasive. We teach them how to manage their emotions. But what we have to teach people so that we don't lose the 90%, because most of them the 90% get lost because of challenges. And we got to teach them that when a challenge comes, you can either drown with the waves or you can surf on them. I want you to think about that. There's some people who drown with waves. There's some people who surf on them. And we've got to teach people how to do what? Surf on them. We've got to teach people that a setback is a setup for a comeback. We got to teach people that trials and tribulations are only there to make you strong. We got to teach people that trials don't mean quit. Trials mean keep going. Listen to me. This is stuff we can teach. We can teach people that. We can teach people a realistic time frame, and we can use ourselves to show them what we did. We can teach people how to persevere. It's just not a natural gift for some people, but it can be taught. Good. Anybody else? Why did the 90 quit? They thought it would be easy. Good. So it's not the fact that it's hard that's difficult, it's that they thought it was going to be easy that made it difficult. So if they can learn in the first week or two, the first 30 days, that is not going to be that's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. We got a chance of keeping them a lot longer. Does that make sense?
It's partly responsibility. I don't think that people have talked to young people about responsibility in any real sense. Not and been on their side at the same time for like 50 years. And that's just too long, because most people find the meaning in their life through responsibility. Some people just die, and horribly. Yeah, life's rough, no doubt about it. And if good luck comes your way, then you should be grateful for it. And if happiness manages to manifest itself, you should be grateful for that too. Well, I think the deck is stacked against everyone to some degree, because life is very difficult and we all die. So, but some people do have it harder than others. And all of us have it very hard at some times in our lives. It's like, well, what's the alternative? You take responsibility for that and try to struggle uphill, because the alternative makes everything worse. It's not like it's fair. I know perfectly well that people have brutal lives. I've been a psychotherapist for 20 years. I've seen things you can't imagine, horror shows that you can't fathom, and people who have been hurt in so many ways, so many dimensions. It's like, bitter? Should they be bitter? Should they be resentful? Should they become violent? These things don't help. They have to struggle uphill despite their excess burden. And it's responsibility, not guilt. You know, it's not necessarily their fault. That's not the point. It's hard to tell. The broader social effect is not going to be good, because lots of the things that are happening in the universities that aren't good are already leaking out into the broader social world. Part of what's going to happen is that people are going to stop coming and speaking on campuses. The comedians in the United States, many of them already won't speak on it. They won't come and do their shows on campus because everybody's so sensitive to offense. But it also drives political polarization, which isn't a good thing unless you want to drive political polarization. And I think the universities are going to cut the branch off that they sit on. It's a terrible problem. So imagine okay, so the rule is you can't offend anyone, all right? Let's say you're speaking to one person, I can't offend you. All right, fair enough. What if I'm speaking to 10 people? Do I get to offend 1 in 10? How about 1 in 100? How about 1 in 1,000? You're going to come out on stage and you're going to say something important about something vital, and you're not going to offend 1 person in 1,000? Well, you can't say anything about anything important ever without offending probably the person you're talking to. Important speech about important issues, especially contentious issues, is instantly offensive. This is true. Yeah, you can actually try listening when you're having a conversation, right? Assuming that both people who are having the conversation are of goodwill, and they're not trying to play tricks, and they're struggling towards the truth, which neither of them hold completely, and both understand that. Yeah, you could reach across fairly large gaps and negotiate peace. Thank God for that, or we'd be at each other's throats all the time.
Greatness doesn't come from people, it comes from God. And yes, our fathers, our natural fathers, our family, they influence us. They teach us what they know. But your gifts, talents, courage, favor, it comes from your Heavenly Father. You are not limited by what people didn't give you. My father had to hitchhike, but he left home and started ministering in the prisons, in the senior citizens' homes. Doors started opening. He was able to go back and finish high school, went to seminary, pastored great churches, started Lakewood, pastored here for almost 40 years. Along the way, I can hear someone asking, whose son is that? He sure is talented. He's such a great speaker, such a gifted leader, impacted so many people. When they found out who his parents were, they thought, how could that be? That doesn't make sense. It's because they were only looking at it in the natural. Every good gift comes from your Heavenly Father. What He's destined for your life is not limited by what kind of natural father you had. Jesse couldn't see the greatness in David. My grandfather couldn't see the greatness in my father. But just because they didn't see it, that didn't stop it from coming to pass. I hope you had a great father like I did, loving, kind, empowering, a father that pushed you further, help you to be confident and secure. But even if you didn't, you're still going to do great things. You're still going to leave your mark. Maybe your father was like Jesse. He didn't believe in you, or he wasn't around. He talked down to you. When you think of your father, it's not a fond memory. It's a source of pain and disappointment. Perhaps he was like my father's dad. He meant well, but he told my father what he couldn't accomplish, how he was going to fail. What I want you to see is that is not going to stop your destiny. Your Heavenly Father overrides what people do. Your greatness doesn't come from your natural bloodline, from your lineage. It comes from your Father in heaven. What He's spoken over your life will come to pass. Tell me about your father. Well, he was so busy, Joel. He didn't have time for me. He discouraged me. He was loving, but man, he had some rough edges. I don't mean that, Father. Tell me about your Heavenly Father. He spoke worlds into existence. He flung stars into space. He fearfully and wonderfully made you. He said you're a masterpiece. He's equipped you, empowered you, anointed you. He put seeds of greatness in you. He calls you a history maker, a giant killer, a world changer. Whether your natural father was great or not so great, whether you have fond memories or not so fond memories, when you recognize who your Heavenly Father is, that He is the giver of all good gifts, that means if your father was loving, kind, talented, generous, that all came from our Heavenly Father. Maybe it was just the opposite. Then despite what's in your natural bloodline, despite the dysfunction, the limitation, you'll be the exception. You'll defeat giants. You'll accomplish dreams. You'll become all you were created to be. In my grandparents' defense, they had no history of leadership. They didn't know how to train my father to become a pastor. They'd never experienced abundance, more than enough influence. No wonder they couldn't see it. It was foreign to them. Don't fault people that can't see what you can see. God will put things in your spirit that your parents, your relatives, people around you can't fathom. It's too big, too great, too influential. They can't comprehend it. They've never seen it. You're going to set a new standard.
Because the first thing you try to do is shut the thing up. It's not about mind control, right? It's why is the mind doing that? Not don't do that. And you realize, no, that's not what happened, all right? And in the most succinct way I can say it, what happened is as follows, all right? But what we do, because we don't want to have the experience, is we try to push it away. We try to control it so it doesn't come all the way into us. And it seems natural. Like if somebody took a swing at you, you'd put your arm up. And where I went was very different than others, is instead of trying to seek that beautiful feeling, I tried to see why I don't feel that beautiful feeling. And I started working with, okay, the world keeps changing, right? And what you're looking for is the experience. And so I was very young, in my early 20s. Not that money has to turn on, nothing wrong with those things, right? But you have the right to turn on the faucet and then have fun doing those things instead of needing those things in order to get the energy flowing, instead of being a party pooper. It took me a long time to actually clearly see what was going on. So that the energy, the beautiful energy you have and that people have, the beautiful energy can be there, not that somebody else has to turn on the faucet. And undercut that, that you will find that it's a tremendously beautiful tool that can serve you beautifully, that my mind would just sit there and say, yeah, well, she says she loves me, but because you didn't let it pass, you didn't let it free. And by the time you spend a very little period of time on this earth, you've collected a bunch of those, right? So I discovered it by what I said, realizing, having some experiences inside, which we all have, falling in love, having something go your way, and realizing it's not going to stay that way. What you don't realize is that when you do that, it stays inside of you.
It gets trapped.
It stays inside of you. It's trapped. You trap the energy with all of that discord, right? That I said, isn't there a way to feel that all the time, not have it conditionally, but feel it all the time? And you said, I need a moment. You said, I'm okay now. No, you're not. You pushed it back down, okay? And so to make a long story short, it's a long story, right? What would happen if you collected every single thing that disturbed you during your entire life inside of your mind? You would have a disturbed mind, and that's what's going on.
There's a correlation between the way you move your body and your emotions. They're directly, this is even before we get to dopamine hits and our nervous system being, I'm just telling you that the way you move your body is an emotion. You do emotions. And so when you move your body, you can't be in full workout mode, moving your body, running, walking, jumping jacks, jump rope, and be depressed. They don't go together simultaneously because your body doesn't get the connection. I'm moving like I'm joyful. I'm moving like I'm having sex. I'm moving like I'm happy. These are all joyful states. You can't be depressed simultaneously. So the quickest way to change our behavior, our emotions, and our state is with our body. So identity is the governor on our lives. It's the invisible force that no one understands. And once they do understand and get a hold of it, their life can change. And so not only if you don't get a hold of this, will these outward conditions of your life keep being exactly the same, but you could behave differently, you could do all the working out, you could be thinking great thoughts, but you are going to get out of your life, you're going to be the most powerful force in the world, I think, is to be consistent with the concepts, ideas, and worth that you hold for yourself. You will get that out of your life, what you will tolerate. Okay. The deeper part of that is identity. And so identity is very much like a thermostat sitting on a wall, right? This is important. Once that temperature is set at a certain degree, everything in the world externally can hit it, and you will find a way to get that temperature. So even in this house, let's say it's set at 80 degrees. If we opened up all the doors and cold air, just the worst things in life, the blizzard of life came in, the thermostat will kick the heater on and it will regulate this room back to 80 degrees. The reverse is also true. It's a super hot day. Great things are happening in your life. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. If you're at 80 degrees, that internal thermostat will find a way over a window of time to cool your life right back down to 80 degrees again. So the key, the secret key, is to be able to shift that identity. 90, 100, 120. So some of the ways, strategies to do that are very simple. One is let's just say financially, you're a 200 degreer and I'm an 80 degreer. If I'm in your proximity over and over and over and over again, you will heat my identity up somewhere in between mine and yours to 150 degrees. Same in fitness, same in everything. So the more you can layer in multiple people, the stronger and stronger that force is. So that changes our thermostat through association. It's a huge, 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 huge thing. People say you are who the 5 people you hang around. This is why. They adjust your thermostat. That's number one. Second way you can change your identity is through doing short bursts of something in a window of time you've not done them before, and they change the thermostat temperature permanently, almost like a water line in the pool. So if it's a certain amount in the gym, or a certain amount of phone calls in your business, or a certain amount of appointments, you make a certain amount of money, oftentimes you're never the same again. You've seen this in your own net worth. I've seen it in mine. There became a point where I made a leap in a short window. I was never really the same again. I could go back a little bit, but not back where I was before. So it's activity or successes, achievements in short bursts of time. And then obviously our self-confidence impacts identity too, and we've kind of covered that. Those are 3 quick ways.
Do it to the best of your ability, today, tomorrow, and always, until finally, the worthy deed becomes instinctive.
We are all made to do great things. Be accountable, be productive, be powerful, and from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business.
I'm about 5'10" with my shoes on. I'm comfortable.
Procrastination says later, tomorrow, whenever I get a chance. In every circumstance we face, we are constantly presented with these 2 choices. Do it now or do it later. Discipline and procrastination. A choice between a disciplined existence, bearing the fruit of achievement and contentment, or procrastination, the easy life for which the future will bear no fruit, only the bare branches of mediocrity. The rewards of a disciplined life are great, but they're often delayed until some time in the future. The rewards for the lack of discipline are immediate, but they are minor in comparison to the immeasurable rewards of consistent self-discipline.
The time has come. The moment of truth is here. The question is, are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have the strength? Everybody wants to win, but they don't understand what it means to sacrifice to win it all. Everybody wants to be a champion, but are you prepared to work hard enough to become the champion that you believe you can be? Do you think you have the mindset now?
An immediate reward for lack of discipline is a fun day at the beach. A future reward of discipline is owning the beach. For most, we choose today's pleasure rather than tomorrow's fortune. So how can you get rid of the easy distractions? How can you keep your mind on what you're trying to do? How can you keep an attitude of doing it all and doing it now? How can you make the choice of discipline over procrastination? How can you stay focused on your ambitions? You can keep your focus on your work. You can get it done today instead of tomorrow. You've got to really work on your consistent self-discipline on a daily basis, or you'll find yourself distracted. Distracted by negative thoughts, distracted by negative people, and pretty soon, depending on the type of people you've associated with, distracted by your doubts within yourself.
Do you understand what it means to get into what they call beast mode? But I'm here to let you know right now, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't about being beast mode. It's about life and death mode. It's about putting it on the line. It's about pushing yourself and giving it 110% of everything you got. There is nothing that you can do once you're here except finish what you start. When the weakness starts to talk to you and whisper sweet nothings in your ear, you got to recognize that that conversation doesn't help you. That conversation that you're having with weakness is not gonna build you. It's not gonna push you. It's not gonna lift you. You got to recognize that there's work that must be done. You got to be responsible.
Dude, like, are you sure? I'm comfortable. Married 5'10". Been married 30 years, 5'10". 2 beautiful kids, 5'10". I don't need to be 6'6". That's your life. I see dudes 6'10". I'm like, you wasting it. You bragging about you 6'8". You wasting the height. I'm using all my 5'10", bruh. I'm using all of it. Not to be funny, I ain't never got beat up. I use all my 5'10". I ain't been broke. I use all my 5'10". I use my mouth. I don't dream to be 6'4". I love my life. Y'all gotta start loving your life. And whether you make it to the league or not, you are not who you are because of the league. You are who you are because of who you are. And if you make it to the league, then the league is gonna be blessed with your presence. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Be comfortable on who you are. Be comfortable if y'all poor. If you come from a family right now that's broke, you use that to your advantage. I use that to my advantage that I was a high school dropout, that I was homeless.
You got to be capable. You got to be willing to work for what you want. I know sometimes people like to talk. I know some people like to pretend to be something they're not. I know sometimes people say they're a lion, but you can't be a lion if you don't understand the rules of the jungle. So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to recognize what it means to sacrifice, what it means to be powerful, what it means to be strong. This is your moment to shine. And if you're not willing to shine, then step aside. If you're not willing to work, then this is not the place for you. You got to toughen up. You got to look up. You got to build up. If you want it, this is the time to go get it. But you gotta work for it. You got to believe in it. You got to trust in it. You got to let the power flow through the veins.
Once that becomes your reaction to not change that thing that meant so much to you, that you dedicated your life to making it come true, that you don't change that, but rather you find another way. You tap into your creativity. You find somebody that can help you. You do whatever it takes to get on the other side of that. You do whatever it takes to build that life that you want to see. But if your reaction is to change your goal, to make it easier, to move it closer, to be less of who you could be, simply so you can check a box, you're never going to have anything that's worth having.
Also, if you want to have more confidence and self-love, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
There's a gap between who people are and what they tell you they want to accomplish. You can tell the world to eat less and exercise more, and it will work for every single person ever that's ever done it. But the reality is the vast majority of the world will not do that.
What you think about yourself is at the end of the day the single most important thing.
That I ate out of trash can. I love dealing with a dude who think because he come from money, he better than me. Let's go. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. So as I leave, guys, if you a person who respect, like when you walked outside, if you speak to people, just because the people you running with don't speak to people, don't you do what? Don't you not speak? You like, yo, y'all do y'all. But I speak. What's up, bro? Like my man gave me a firm one when we was out there. He gave me a firm one. I remember him because of that. He looked me in my eye and said his name. Are you hearing me? Don't forget who you are. Don't forget where you come from. My last name is Thomas. I represent my stepfather who stepped in my life because my old dude didn't want to be there. I represent him. I could change my name if I wanted to, but everywhere I go, I respect the man who came in for me when my father wasn't there for me.
As Harun Yahya noted, I always wonder why birds stay in the same place when they can fly anywhere on Earth. And then I ask myself the same question. As Mark Twain put it, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And that's where people get stuck. You're literally like the bird. You could fly anywhere you want. You can go anywhere you want to go. And look, I know you've got a litany of excuses and all of them are valid. You've got a job, you can't just leave, or you don't have a job and you don't have the money. Your family is in one place. It's the only thing that you've ever known. You only speak one language. You've never traveled before. You don't have a passport. You can't afford the gas money. There are 1,000 real reasons not to go. But the truth is that none of them matter. The truth is, if you want to build something in your life, then you have to remember what Mark Twain said. You have to get started.